You know, a lot of people think of brands, the colors, the look, the feel. Well, those are attributes, but that's not the brand. The brand is really what do your customers perceive of you and what do you really truly deliver, and that's really the essence of the brand.
Of course, you're tuned to Mind Your Business here on 77 WABC. It's a great honor. The Nielsen ratings, I checked them over again. This is like a broken record here, folks. We've been in the top 10, I think, since June of 2016, and we bounce around between 3 and 7. In fact, the first time I had Jeffrey Hayzlett on, I remember he was making a big deal that we had come in at number 3. We had Captain Sullenberger on the previous month, and that's also one of the reasons why we have Jeffrey on today, because last month we were at number 5. I know it's a big deal, but with Jeffrey, hey, maybe we'll get to number 1.
Of course we're going to go to number 1. What else? Of course we're going to go, baby. With this face, and our faces are made for more than just radio. That's made for television. It's made for soap operas. It's made for everything. Yeah, we're going to take it to number 1. But by the way,
yes.
I've been in the media for a long time. I had a television show on Bloomberg.
That's right.
I was even a judge on Celebrity Apprentice for a number of years. But also have my own podcast as well with C-Suite Radio, which you guys have your show on as well, as well as right here on WABC. But, to break into that top market, I give it to you guys. I mean, that's and a Sunday night, too.
Thank you.
A Sunday night to listen to a business show.
Baseball or football.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Up against the Yankees and the Mets, depending on who you like, but we don't care about any other team outside of that.
He's from South Dakota, folks, but he's a New Yorker at heart.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker at heart. I love New York. I love the Yankees are my favorite team. The Jets are my favorite team. Always have been since I was a kid. So, yeah, I'm a New Yorker, but, here I am wearing my cowboy boots and jeans right here. Yeah. You don't see that too much in your community, do you? Not too many cowboy boots. I give you a hard time, but, we're brothers.
We're brothers, absolutely.
But different religions, different way of growing up, but very respectful of each other.
Absolutely.
You teach me a lot. And that's one of the things I really like about being with you. I really do. Yeah.
And folks, we have a very deep relationship. We do dinner, glatt kosher, of course.
Kosher. Oh man, the last time we went for kosher, I think I gained 4 pounds. I'm pretty sure I gained 4. It is so good. The food at that restaurant, we'll give a shout out.
Wolf and Lamb.
Yeah, Wolf and Lamb. Wow. Yeah, just off the charts. The onion rings there, everything. Oh my gosh. We always have a good time, and we spend a couple hours. Mostly, it's not about the food; it's about the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you find in business everywhere you go.
That's right.
It's always about the conversation.
And the human connection. In fact, let me even jump in with that. Today, so much is put on social media. You got to have a presence in your Twitter. But are we still humans?
Yeah, you still have to be. But, you have to use those tools for the business. I'm going to say it, you'd be an idiot not to be in it, right? It's where the things go. Before we used to have the Rotary Club, we had church, synagogue, we had a place to go, in which you still want those places. But to get the scale that you can have today, you used to do the mass advertising, the direct mail. You used to do the letters, do all that stuff. You advertise in print pubs and digital stuff. But now you've really got to use the social media. And word of mouth has always been the best. We all know that. Word of mouth, your friend telling a friend of a friend, that stuff always works. And now that, on the social media side is that. And in different places, we recently purchased with a partner the .co.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, .co. You got .biz, .com.
Right. .nyc.
.nyc. Well, I helped sell to the NYC years ago when they opened up at ICANN, the International Committee of Assignment of Names and Numbers. That's the internet. I helped them sell those 4 new categories, and one of the categories is what we'd call a category killer. And that's things like you could own .auto, .music, .movie, .kosher. I helped sell .kosher to the OK Kosher Group.
That is great.
And to the rabbi out there. And so really, really great people. And you got 32 different kosher certification groups.
That's right.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's competition. But nonetheless, so we went out and bought .ceo. And so now if you have your name.co, your brand, .co, so if you want to reach directly the CEO, why you have to go info at such and such? Why not put your company name, so you can have, you can do it like that.
And folks out there looking to do that, how do they access that? Where do they go?
Got to go to home.co. That's it. And it's just like a home page for the domain.com. If you want to go to .com, you go to home.com. And you'll be able to see it there, too. So in this case, it's .co. You sign up, you can get your email done there, you can get your websites, you can get anything you need to have done. But as a CEO, it's becoming more and more important for you to, basically establish your brand.
So can you talk about that, the importance of anyone in the C-suite, the critical nature that they have to maintain a personal brand, independent of the company.
Sure.
A personal brand. Why is that so critical?
Well, someone's going to create it for you. That's one. Because with Wiki, especially the more prominent you become in business, I have a Wiki page that's been developed for me for years, and I don't always like the stuff that's on there. But, there's editors that put stuff on there. I would do it differently if it were my page, but it's not my page. So why wouldn't you want to establish your own brand, your own story?
And have control of it.
And have control of it. But, a brand is nothing but a promise delivered. So this is to help you to tell what your promise is, rather than otherwise someone else is going to make that up for you. So at least gives you some control. I'm not saying that you can control it all, because you can't. Because with the brand, you've got to nurture it, you got to feed it, you got to water it, and you got to propagate it. And so that's why it's very important for you to have that, and especially as CEO. You've earned that title. You've spent blood, sweat, tears to get to it. Years. You've gone into your pocket. You put up your you put up everything.
You've been at the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, you put up your family's future. Fran Tarkenton, a friend of mine, former quarterback, Hall of Famer, Minnesota Vikings, and of course he's in business. He's a huge entrepreneur. He says if you haven't laid awake at night wondering how you're going to make payroll the next day, you haven't lived. Yeah. And that's for a lot of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are the only people I know give up a 40-hour-a-week job to go work 120.
Right? What a line. By the way, is that your line, the one about a brand is a promise delivered?
Yeah. I got that from a woman by the name of Sharon Napier from Partners in Napier. She's since sold her firm. She was a company that worked with me at Kodak when I was the chief marketing officer of Eastman Kodak. And they had a firm up in Rochester. Now they have one in here in New York and Rochester. And she's the one that kind of shepherded me in that, and I somehow kind of borrowed it from her and kind of added to it. So I give her credit for that. But yeah, that's how I say it. It's a promise delivered. A lot of people think of brands, the colors, the look, the feel. Well, those are attributes. But that's not the brand. The brand is really, what do your customers perceive of you, and what do you really truly deliver? And that's really the essence of the brand. And, and part of the reason why I even wrote The Hero Factor.
And we're going to get there. Yeah. Jeff's latest book is The Hero Factor. He's written many books, and we've, on a previous show, we talked about, of course, the Think Big, Act Bigger.
Love that one. Love them all. I love them all. I love this one. You always love your new. I shouldn't say that's because they're like your kids. You love them all. You love them all, but the newest one.
Tyler might be listening. Yeah, Lindsay, we get in trouble here.
Exactly, but the newest one gets the most attention, right? I guess that's the way you'd say it, because you have to nurture them along as they get there. But I'm real happy about the Hero Factor and how great leaders transform organizations and create winning cultures, because it's about creating a culture of heroes. Not that you're a hero as a CEO. We have this thing called the Hero Club, but it's really, truly about creating winning cultures, hero cultures, to create a hero company. And obviously we can talk a lot more about that, because there's a big difference.
Yeah. Jeffrey is a gracious guy. 2 lucky listeners are going to win the Hero Factor. Okay, how great leaders transform organizations and create winning cultures. And they're going to be, of course, autographed by Jeffrey. I wouldn't do that to you, just give you a book without it having
we'll sign them. We'll sign them. Real ink. We'll use real ink. We'll use ink, not even pencil.
Now, by the way, Google Jeffrey Hayzlett ink speech. And then you'll know what gets inside. Ink!
Ink, baby, ink. That's one of my signature stories.
That's great.
Yeah, I even told it at HP once.
I don't believe
That's a true story. Yeah, HP hired me. It's a story about HP for those that are listening.
Oh, that's wild.
And it's a real kind of a play on them, and it's a lot of fun, and I give kudos and credits to them, but I really rant and rave on this story, and it's one of my signature stories. People who hear it love it. Years later, they come up and yell, ink.
All right.
But I told it at HP. Yeah, I told it.
That is too funny. Now, did you also, folks, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, just, again, go to Google, type in Jeffrey Hayzlett ink speech, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you also say, it's by a company, I can't say their name because of legal reasons, but their initials are HP.
Yeah, it's a great lead-in. It takes you a while to craft those stories, but, I start with a story like that in a speech. Of course, I'm on the Hall of Fame, speaking of Hall of Fame.
NSA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and then you kind of craft it, and then it kind of takes on its own. And then you keep refining it. I don't ever tell it the same way, ever. I never do, because of I get ahead of myself sometimes. I have a little ADHD, And so I get ahead of myself. I get excited. And so I'll start telling a portion of the story and then I got to circle back in it. But all that stuff's in my head while I'm doing it. But I have a lot of fun. And some days I take it more over the top than others, when I'm screaming.
How often, I know we're all over the place, but this is just such great conversation. Again, we told the listeners, that
are you going to take a break? Do you have to take a break?
We're going to take a break soon.
Okay,
but,
I know you got advertisers.
Yeah,
we're
going to get the spots in. But
put money in our pockets here.
This is a great story. I was together with you in Boston at a C-suite networking conference, and you had just given keynotes. I think it was in Belgium. Okay, it was in Europe.
Yeah,
and I remember we were backstage, and I said, Jeffrey, how do you do it? I mean, there's such a thing called jet lag. Like tired. I said, how do you do it? And I remember your response. It seared right into me. It was the greatest line. It's what you do.
Yeah, it's what you do.
It's what you do. I love it.
Yeah, it's what you do.
Folks, when you're in business, if you're grinding it, you're putting in, again, like Jeffrey said, you're switching your 40-hour week for a 120-hour week. It's what you do.
You do it for free if you really could. I mean, seriously, you would, because it's what you like, Yeah, I never tell anybody that because getting paid is how we get, how we take score.
Pay the bills,
yeah, that's how we pay, keep score. But yeah, I mean, if you didn't have the worry of money, wouldn't you do what you love? And I love doing it. So I guess I'd never stop doing it.
How important is it for someone? I know we're going to go to a commercial break, folks, but just how important is it for someone in business to absolutely love and be passionate about what they do?
Well, why would you waste your time? Why would you do something you didn't like to do? Even if you're digging ditches, which I enjoy. I enjoy physical labor. I have a ranch and I like working outside. I'd rather do that, but my wife won't let me have a tractor right now. So, nonetheless, because she's afraid I'm going to roll it and going down a hill, and she's, she's probably right. Or driving into the river because I'm always like pushing trees or something. And anyway, so we're doing stuff I shouldn't be doing. Well, true. But, why would you want to do anything that you didn't love, and didn't get paid for or didn't learn from? That's my 3 conditions of satisfaction. Building wealth for me and my family so my family can live a better life than I did. Because I grew up poor. I didn't grow up with a lot of riches. Not that we did without. I just didn't know it was really poor. I didn't know that was that was tight. That's what it was. We used to take cross-country trips and pull over the roadsides and eat our packed lunch, things like that. Well, it's because we couldn't afford to stay in a restaurant, or we left early in the morning so my parents could drive overnight and switch off so we didn't have to stay in a hotel. Yeah, same thing. I didn't know. And now I look back and go, oh my gosh, that's why we did that, Or if I wanted a bottle of pop or something like that, we call pop up where I live, or a soda, Coke, whatever you want to call it. I had to go out and collect bottles. Things like that, that's how I learned. So building wealth. The second thing is, I want to do things that I find to be interesting and learn from, right? That every day I can go, at the end of the day, I always write down, what did I learn today? And I always like that. In fact, I end my podcast, what did I learn from the podcast from whoever I interviewed? Because I love to have that, what's my lesson I took, from that conversation? And then last but not least, I want to have fun.
I love the honor of interviewing C-level executives and sharing their great advice and perspective on Mind Your Business. I'd love to get your feedback. Post it in the comments below and subscribe. You'll never miss an edition of Mind Your Business.